welcome to my blog. I'm Catherine, and if we've never met, I'm so glad you're here. And if we have met, I'm also glad you're here. I guess right out of the gate, the question is, why am I vlogging? I create a lot of things on the internet, and specifically, I am working on some projects that I'm going to release into the world that are going to be very finished, very professional. Well, I mean, relatively professional. And as I create those, I am aware that those products have a very finished, pulled together element about them. For someone that creates very finished products, I feel the need to balance that out with something that feels a little more off the cuff. Hence a vlog. Why not, right? So that's me, and that's what I'm doing. Before I dive into my week, I just want to give you the smallest slice of context if you don't know anything about me. I live in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm a creative and an entrepreneur. I am divorced 2 years after 23 years of marriage. I'm the mother to 4 amazing humans, and I am currently unemployed. I started a bakery in Fort Worth out of my home called Hurley House in 2013. Moved to a brick and mortar in 2016. I actually sold the business this time last year. I walked away from the company I built, and I said goodbye to a really, really significant chapter in my life. After saying goodbye to also a very significant chapter in my life 2 years prior when I lost my marriage. It's been a weird season for me. So that's who I am. That's where I am. That's kind of the status of my life. I'm just going to dive in vlog style and tell you this is the first full week of January. It is time to get stuff going. I have been quiet on social media. I'm going to reemerge on social media and start creating content for that again. I'm going to continue writing. I have a blog. I have an email. You can find both of those. I'm going to get back in those rhythms and those routines. Aside from work, I have a Pilates date with a friend of mine. I'm really excited. I am working, I don't have it here. I'll have to show you. I've been working on this super cute needlepoint canvas that I think I'm probably going to be able to finish this week. It's kind of my goal. We have a baptism later this week, a christening, and just kind of like getting back into the mundane everydayness of regular life. After the holidays, things like regular life feel a little bit luxurious, and I'm here for it. My hopes for this week are that I really get a game plan in place with some people that are helping me on this work stuff, that I get back into the rhythm and routine of waking up a little bit earlier, need to reincorporate some gentle movement into my life, and just sort of like reemerge in these areas, not aggressively, just very gently. I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Let's see how it unfolds. Not too shabby of a day today for re-entry as far as that goes. I did set my alarm and got up just a smidge earlier. I had a really productive day today. It helped that I had 3 back-to-back meetings. So I had a 10 o'clock, an 11 o'clock, and then a 1 o'clock. I took a walk around the block. I did an online Pilates class, and then I cooked dinner and did some cooking for the week and managed to create a ton of dishes, like Thanksgiving level dishes. So I cooked dinner, did the dishes, ate dinner, did more dishes, and then it just like descended on me. And I felt the reality of the schedule shift, the productivity shift, I definitely did more today than I normally do. I did more today than I've done over the holidays. That's what I'm coming out of. This is a shift from the holiday way of life into back into reality. So it felt good, but I now feel like it's ridiculously early, and I went ahead and took my bath. I'm in my pajamas. I could lie down and go to bed. I just started a load of laundry. I need to prep the coffee for tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to watch the last 2 episodes of the Eras Tour documentary. I really need to paint my nails because they're starting to chip. And what I tend to do, tell me if you do this, when they just start to chip, I'm like, oh, I've got another day or 2. And then I let it go, and I wish I would have intervened and painted them the second that they start chip, because then they start to kind of like, the nail itself starts to deteriorate. It would feel really good to have my nails painted. So we'll see if I can do that before I press play. I know what I was going to show you. One of the smallest little delights of my day were the socks that I wore today. I know how this sounds. They're from the brand Saison, which I'm obsessed with that brand. They came in this adorable little box, and it's a set of 3, and I just thought they were so cute and feminine. I really am excited to wear the pink. I think the pink is so cute. Anyway, that was one of the small highlights of my day today. French socks. Who knew we needed those in our closet? And tomorrow is more of the same. We're just gonna keep doing it, gently getting back into the routines and rhythms. I'm getting ready to go to this Pilates class with my friend this afternoon, and I'm really excited to go, and I'm really excited to see my friend. And despite having done Pilates every week for the better part of a year and a half, and despite being totally confident and secure and comfortable with myself and my body, like, I still get anxiety around any sort of like group fitness or athletic endeavor. And I'm really trying to figure out where that comes from. Like, I never got picked for sports. I never played sports. I don't really understand sports. I'm a highly competitive person, but that's just not an arena that I've ever, I don't know. It's just not something, it's not only something that I'm not good at. It's something that I feel very, very insecure about. I'm worried I'm gonna look dumb. I'm worried I'm gonna hurt myself. I'm worried I'm gonna fall. And as I'm saying this, I'm realizing, like, in the context of a fitness class, I'm worried like I'm not gonna be able to do the stuff that I'm supposed to do, and then I'm gonna be the only one that's not like strong enough or good enough or advanced enough or whatever. And the truth is, I'm not the strongest person in the world, but like, I'm strong and I'm able-bodied and I'm flexible and I understand Pilates. More importantly, I know that it's okay to not be good at everything the first time you do it. But despite all that, I am really excited to go to this class, move my body and hang out with my friend and just see what happens. In other news, I did not paint my nails last night. I was going to, and then I went to go get the stuff off the shelf and I was like, no, don't feel like doing that. I feel like I've been even tireder today than I was yesterday. I had to have an extra cup of coffee this afternoon, which I'm really, really trying to get away from. I drink way too much caffeine over the holiday. So this is me. I'm Pilates ready. Here we go. Tackling my anxiety one group fitness class at a time. I did it. Back from Pilates. I ended up wearing a different shirt. And I just want to say, it was so good. I did the Pilates class, and then there was this stretch class that we stayed for afterwards. I wasn't brave enough to film any video during the Pilates class, so I didn't do that. I did get that one clip of the stretch class. I assumed that I was going to be pretty, like, not strong, and I felt very strong. I felt very equipped for this class. I felt like very intermediate level. Not advanced, but definitely not beginner. And that was just kind of a little boost. I feel good. So I won't say that I feel silly for getting stressed about it, because, like, you don't know until you do something. But it was kind of a confidence boost. I felt good about it. And I really love Pilates. I just really feel like that's my thing. And I'm really proud of myself for doing it. So thank you for coming to my Pilates class pep rally. Ready, set, go. I woke up this morning before my alarm, riddled with anxiety around
some work that I'm doing. I know this is vague, forgive me, but I'm basically working on this trio of projects, and each one is kind of like a distinct collection of work that I'm going to release later. And that's all I can say about that. I've been working really hard on it. It's been a really beautiful kind of birthing process, these ideas. I have these big, beautiful ideas, and then the practical side of my brain kicks in, and it's like, okay, how do we take this idea and turn it into something? And then what are the steps required to turn it into something? There's like the artistic side and the practical side, which I'm grateful for that I have both. Been working really hard on the practical stuff, like chipping away, making checklists, turning ideas into tasks, and then like doing the tasks. And that's what I've been doing. But sometimes I flip back into that creative part of my brain and stop, and I'm like, wait, is this thing even really good? And it's like I take off my practical hat, who's like, good job, you checked the boxes, put on my creative hat, and I'm like, yeah, but what is it? Is this what you pictured? Is this actually a thing of value? Is this interesting? Is this what you pictured? Is it working? Are people gonna like it? I know this isn't true for all art, but in this instance, it is fairly important to me that people actually like it and want to engage with it, because I am efforting to make this my livelihood. I am efforting to make this my actual paying job. So I woke up this morning and my creative brain was back on, and I was like, wait a second, but I don't even know if this is good. Is this aligned with what I really wanted to create? What am I even looking at? This doesn't feel like enough. This doesn't feel important. The anxiety is spiraling. Then, to make matters worse, I went to pour myself a cup of coffee, and the coffee has just been tasting off for the last week. And I think it's time for me to like deep clean my coffee pot with vinegar. I think it's time. So it was really disappointing to both wake up feeling anxious about this thing that I'm working on, that I've put all my eggs in a basket over, and then to not even have a great cup of coffee. One of my tools in my toolkit for dealing with anxiety or when I hit a wall is to get out of my head and into my hands or into my body. And today it was like, put on your tennis shoes and go for a walk around the block. And how beautiful that I live half a mile from my favorite coffee shop in Fort Worth. So I'm gonna walk, go get my favorite cup of coffee, and let my brain work in the background, and then go back to my house and figure out what to do next.
From my struggle with anxiety over my work. After I shared that, I had a couple really great conversations with people in which I was honest about where I was in the process. And it was very helpful to hear kind of like reflected back to me, not only a sense of validation, but also like, hey, time out. I hear what you're saying. But also this is kind of something that you continue to do. And remember, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I think part of it is getting out of my head and just getting back into the process. And then part of it is leaning on the community of people who love and support me in the same way that I would if they came to me. It's just been a crunch week. It has been a crunch week, punctuated by a funeral, which is a terrible thing, and but spent a lot of time kind of off camera, off anything, being present there. And now I'm looking at this week and I'm thinking, okay, my intention was to show back up on social media, which I did. My intention was to finish a needlepoint, which I didn't. I didn't even pick up my needlepoint this week. And I'm just going to go ahead and say I probably am not going to pick it up next week either. This week and next week are just ridiculously busy. I wanted to reincorporate gentle movement back into my schedule, and I did. I've reincorporated my wake up time, which feels good. So like, I feel like this week I wanted to shed that holiday kind of mindset, way of life. And I think I did that. Feels like a good week. Feels like there were some highs, there were some lows. As far as vlogging goes, I've really enjoyed the process of sharing in real time what I'm thinking and feeling in a really casual, unscripted way, and just showing you glimpses of my life. So I think I'll do it again next week. What do you think?